You can tell me what you think of the brood pattern. Yeah, this one right here. And the rest of them all seem to be doing decent. You know, they seem to be doing okay.
That's good. Sorry about yesterday.
You're good.
I started bees at about 9.
Ended up working out for the day.
And then the whole last like 3 hours I was getting rained on.
Now this hive does have a lot of small hive beetles. It's the one that's most in the shade.
Yeah.
So they get a lot of them. Probably because the hive beetles. They don't like the small hive beetles. Yeah, this one does have the most.
Big nasty smell. Alright, I don't know if you gave them any small pebbles.
Yep. Oh my gosh, look at that. Yeah, it's like caramel right there.
I know, that's what I was losing.
I needed that yesterday actually when I was making the pancake thing with, but it wasn't as hot yesterday, so I actually had a hard time manipulating the propolis.
Yeah, we actually had the woman I was helping, the second one, like the frames were like cracking.
Yeah,
because
it was
stuff, and
yeah,
I was like, oh,
wasn't
wow,
that
this is weird.
right?
Like, I'm totally not used to this anymore. This looks like food, but
yeah, you'll find a lot of food down this way.
Did you give them some food? Or
I gave them I think I gave them one frame of food. When I took those. There's their hive beetles. Oh man, we broke the trail.
Sorry.
Yeah. That might have been the food frame that I gave them. Actually, I don't know, because the one next door is really...
Yeah, this is older capping.
That one is? Okay, so that's probably from the spring.
You can tell where it's not wet here. You see how the wax is a lighter color.
Lighter color.
Where it's wet, where it's touching the honey, it's darker, but that could be because the honey's darker.
Right.
It could be that it's like tulip, poplar, or it could be some of the spotted lantern frogs.
Okay.
So where did these bees come from?
These were from a split, yeah, from the spring split.
From which home?
Great question. That would have been, I believe it came from, that was my swarm, my swarm queen that I caught last spring.
So that's that one?
Yes, that middle one.
Oh, really quiet.
I'm pretty sure. They're all really good, honestly. The ones I got from Diane, she had a little bit of, her genetics are a little bit zestier than the swarm one that I caught. But overall, I don't really have any
This is pretty.
any super zesty bees.
That's good.
Yeah. Oh, there's a new bee.
Oh, it's quite a few.
I got a flashlight if you need it too.
Yes, it's so close here. That's pretty. I don't think she's laid in here yet, but I think they're just, they're definitely just starting to emerge, because here's a girl coming out.
Yeah.
She's halfway up.
Oh, yeah, she is. Look, oh, she's almost got her abdomen.
Come on, girl.
Go, go, go. You're so close. Don't get lazy now, don't give up.
I'm so tired.
I know.
Here's one right next to her that's getting over. She's got her head. She's
Popping out.
Yeah, she's not quite popping out, but
She's chewing the edges still.
probably.
There she goes, and she's out.
Yeah, good girl. Wow, what is this?
Yeah.
I've been in
Well, is that K-wing right there? This lady right there, she's got...
That is K-wing.
That.
Now, have these guys had the strips on?
Yeah, they got some strips down there. But their colony was smaller, so I didn't put as many strips.
Yeah, you probably should have had, because I think it's one for every 2.5 frames. So you should probably have had, because you have brood down here.
That might have been new.
It might have been new, and then there's also some chance, because I haven't used that product yet, but it's not, it's pretty common that the bees, the queen might
will move
away.
Right,
Right, and so they may have polished some cells
that
back
makes
here.
sense.
Yeah, and then giving her space away from that area.
Right.
Which is, unfortunately, you have to pay attention to that because if you're treating here and they move over here.
It says after 42 days, move the strips.
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
So they must have experienced.
So Monday would have been the 42 days.
Yeah, so the mites down on this end probably didn't get much treatment.
Okay.
And so you may still be harboring.
Some
they're not dumb, they're gonna move away from the treatment too if they can.
Yeah.
If it doesn't kill them. And of course, the ones that don't get killed are probably the ones you don't want.
That is the thing about horizontal hives, is that they seem to on that side of the frame, you'll get a lot of them on that side of the frame because the door is on that side.
Yeah, you see that in the first box, sometimes in the upper boxes, but they like to use the upper ones.
Yeah.
You see that a lot in regular length too. So it's not a super tight pattern, but it's not bad.
Okay.
I haven't really seen like this. Could be ball brood, but it could also be that they haven't finished capping it. It's not very rough on the edges.
Okay.
So they maybe have been finishing capping that and then just pulled the frame out. Because this is newer. This has been capped less
right
than that previous frame. So I don't see that they're doing hygienic stuff, but sometimes that's an indication that you better watch out because if they're not paying attention.
Okay.
Now, I do have hygienic bees that don't seem to do a lot of uncapping, so they do something else.
Okay.
So that's, it's not, it's one of those things that you just kind of have to say, well, it could be this.
Right.
Or, and it's kind of frustrating because beekeepers are like, no, why don't you tell me what it is?
I don't know what it is.
It could, I have to repeat myself. It could be this, but it could also be that.
Here, put it a little bit farther into the. Yeah, I hear ya.
But I see this going on here.
I just don't want it to fall down on you, because that would be a disaster. I know.
Whack-a-mole, whack-a-beetle. Finish the beetle. Put the hands up. Oops.
They were probably hiding underneath the strip.
He just fell off, which is okay. Alright, girls. Hang on, sorry. Such a pain in the butt. Well, what we could do is we could shift these strips down, because they can be on for another couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, they can, but it depends on the strips, because Sharon's hive, that middle one,
Oh, they chewed them up.
she chewed them up so much there was hardly anything to move.
This might get chewed up.
So it was almost like not even worth moving them.
Oh yeah, I think they've taken that whole side off. There's just that little stub left.
Yeah. So they didn't do anything underneath where the strip was.
It's capped honey. It was interesting. But it's like they chewed down on the wax and then they capped it.
Yeah.
And there must not be much in there because they're almost back down the foundation.
Yeah.
It is interesting what they do. Are you going to do that, or then we're going to do this? Yeah, so here's another. So now this girl may be chewing out because
these ladies are coming out right there.
Yeah, they're coming out. So she may be getting started to come out. So that may be what's going on there. But for the most part, there's definitely archwing. There's quite a few girls. There was another K-wing a second ago. But there's a lot of girls with archwing.
Okay.
And that's probably paralysis virus. And so I think doing some mite checks might be a good plan, just because. Oh, actually, this one's.
Well, I definitely did want to do a mite check after Yeah, I pull the strips
Yeah, you're fine.
just to
Yeah,
find out.
You probably want to do that this weekend if you can, because next week the weather's it's going to cool off again.
Okay.
Highs at around 80, so like in the 70s and 80s, kind of like it was.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's supposed to be all that rain, as far as I know.
This weekend, I can't really get into the hives on the weekends. That's the hard part. And I'm actually coming up on a part, the busy season is upon me
Really?
here shortly, yeah.
So this strip is intact.
Yeah, that one is. Should we move that one?
We could move it down.
Yeah.
Because we had brood, I think, starting on this frame.
Okay.
That's the first brood frame. So we could slide that down.
Okay.
And
I'm going to put it to the side and we'll slide it down when we put it back together again.
yeah, grab that loose end. There you go. I was just trying not to tear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then I think we could move it down. Then we might move these other ones down.
Okay.
This doesn't really have brood on it.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
That one looks like
so-
all food and resources.
Right, so they may have, as that brood was emerging, that may have been these frames that they replaced it with.
Right.
So it is important to check that. It's like I usually think of it more with the fumigants, because I've had experiences with that where they just flat
Move
out,
it.
yeah.
Right.
Like I remember the classic one was I had a 2-box nuke, so I had 5 and 5 on top, and I put the treatment in between. It was ApiGuard, and that's what we were supposed to do. And I came back, after the first treatment, and they had abandoned the brood in the bottom box.
Just
and
left
just
it.
moved honey up enough,
Yeah.
because their top was pretty full. So they made the frames really fat and stuff to get room, and she was laying up in the top box. And I was like, well, crap. So I reversed it. And I did it again. I put the second round on, and they did the same thing.
Oh my goodness.
They moved back up into what was originally the brood comb, which I was fine with, because I was like, I got all this honey, and that's
Yeah.
where the brood is. I was like, that's stupid. So they actually fixed it, which I was happy about. So this has got nice brood in it. There's a lot of pollen over here. We must be getting close to where the entrance is.
Yes.
But there's still pretty good brood
Got a
up
queen.
down there. That's
Yeah.
pretty well developed. I haven't seen anything like that. Your queen could be somewhere nearby.
She's marked, so she should be kind of obvious.
They did the same thing with the strips
Yeah.
from the other.
I think all of them
Yeah.
did. All the colonies did that.
Well, that's what they used to do with the hop guard stuff. So that was very
Okay.
typical.
It's very interesting.
So we could take this frame, which didn't have any brood on it.
And roll it
We can
down.
move it down, right? In the summer, it's not really that critical.
Okay.
But as these temperatures start to drop, it's going to be important that they can kind of create a single cluster as opposed to a divided cluster.
Right.
So I think it's probably a good idea just to try to keep, start. It's not fall yet, but we're 3 weeks away.
Right.
And I think just to kind of keep that rule that, as you're doing your inspections the next month or so, because you can't do reversals. You
Right.
can't reverse boxes. But you can move things around. And
Right.
I think you don't want to do a lot of that because the bees put stuff where they want it.
Right. Usually,
But especially when you've done a treatment, you have to recognize that they may have wanted brood here, but they took it out. They moved
Because-
over because of the
right.
treatment. So I kind of goofed them up, right?
Right.
And they might not have normally done that. And you'll remember, you'll say, well, I know when I hung the strips, there was brood all through here. I didn't.
Yes,
hang
there
the
was.
strip,
Yeah,
right.
they weren't there.
And so that you'll see, they kind of did a little
moved
thing.
it.
Yeah, because I put the thing in.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
This is actually, so given I haven't gone into the other ones, so that's fair. But I was in Sharon's, the middle one yesterday, and they didn't move the brood or anything, but they did chew up they chewed it up like crazy.
All this nice brood here. Now, I haven't really seen young brood. I'm not even sure I've seen any older larvae. So we haven't seen that yet, which is very confusing because this is a frame she should be laying on. And it makes me wonder if something has happened to your queen. We haven't obviously seen any signs of queen cells.
Right.
Like they're doing a replacement, but like all this open stuff, that should have eggs. So I'm gonna go and make sure she's not here, that I don't see her.
Did you, so we haven't seen any eggs yet?
I haven't seen any eggs, but I also haven't seen any larvae. I'm not seeing any of that in between. Oh, here's the larva. Okay.
It's just hard to see because it's white. It's a white frame.
Yeah, I know, it's hard. Yeah, there's some smaller stuff down near the bottom, some milk brood.
Okay.
So that's good, that's encouraging. Yeah, it's really hard to make eggs on this stuff.
On the white frame, it is. It was what I had, though. I ran out of black frames, so it was the only thing I had to use.
My guess is there's some in here because I can see, like, maybe second instar, and I just barely see the C's.
Okay.
And then I see some royal jelly next, and then there's probably eggs right up against that.
Okay.
That's the strategy. So, all right, sorry to scare you.
No, it's okay.
All right, so I would keep this strip here because
it's still got some young brood on it.
So.
Okay.
So this hive isn't that small.
Yeah.
I think so far we've probably seen close to 20,000 brood, which is a good number for this time of the year.
Good, okay.
I got a girl who's deciding that she needs to be fussy.
This one?
Yeah. It's not too much to do.
Do you think it's a robber? No?
You know, I haven't really seen. We had some boxes apart for a while because we were going through those colonies.
Right. No.
I hadn't seen them in 6 weeks.
Right.
And I had to try to.
Do you want me to smoke her?
We were doing apiguard.
I'm afraid to smoke her while you got the frame in your hand.
We were doing apiguard, and I was trying to figure out what the dosages were going to be, you know, for the different boxes and where the brood was. Like, she had a bunch of deep boxes on the bottoms of all these hives.
Mm-hmm. So it was taking a bit to figure out. The bees had
moved up, and most of them never moved back down because she kept adding boxes. So they just stayed up in the medium.
Ah!
Yeah, they were just up in the supers. And so all but one of them, which only had 2 supers, all the other ones had 3. The one that had 2 had brood in that deep. But the other ones weren't using the deep except to put pollen in it. So, you know, we need to know, like, we're not going to put treatment on top of the
Right,
deep.
have to know how much to give them.
Right, and we were counting brood frames. Like, we were trying to figure out, like, if there are 4 or 5 mediums, and then, okay, let's do 30 here, we'll do 15 up here, you know, whatever. But they pretty much all had brood in 2 boxes, which was great, because, I mean, did 2 layers.
Yeah.
One here on top of that brood box, and one on top of that brood box. But it was, we had boxes apart for a while.
And like, you didn't see any robbing kind of?
No, we didn't see
Oh, that's good.
Which was, you know, was doing that little spinning stuff, so that was probably keeping everybody, you know, minding their P's and Q's.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see, there's another frame. There's probably 4,000 or 5,000 brood on that frame, so we're up to maybe 25,000 brood.
Okay, cool.
So I think, yeah, this queen is getting things set up really well.
Good, that's good. She just moved it a little bit due to
I feel like there's a viral load here.
Okay, and if I had to guess, I would probably say that all of my colonies have a small viral load.
There's a yellow jacket.
Oh, where? Are they? Oh, it's on you.
So
Got it.
Yeah, robbers.
I wanna.
Because that's what that's doing. I'll make sure Queen's not here. Where we go bonking things around.
No.
She might still. Oh, yep, she's still there. Give her a pinch.
Oh.
She's being stupid and not.
Got you, jerk.
Yeah. All right. So I feel really good, but I would plan on this one. I would do a fumigant on this one.
You would?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So I would either do.
Now I'm interested in what you think about the rest of them then.
Or I would do Formic, because the thing is, if you see that viral load, it could mean.
Just from the viral load, like the K-wing and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
The mites are a little higher before.
Okay.
Like in between treatments. Because did you do Formic on this one?
No, I haven't used Formic. I've used OA for the most part.
Or it's had some OA?
Just the OAs.
Okay.
Yeah. I did OA vapor in the spring, and this is my summer treatment. Okay, and then I usually do like a fall treatment like right before.
Remember that the benefit way it works is it just kind of keeps mites down around 3%.
Right.
Or so.
Well, they didn't. When I did a mite check,
Yeah.
they were. I don't have my book with me, but the only one that got above 1%, it was like 1.33%. Was the one that's sick. The rest of them were at 1% or lower.
Okay.
So when I did a mite check, I didn't find that many. Actually, that middle one had 0 mites. That was.
So remember, you should do your mite checks. I'm not trying to dissuade you, but remember that a good check is okay, but it doesn't mean it's not checking under cappings.
Okay, true.
Depending on timing of things, there may be thousands of mites under cappings that are hiding out, and your timing just happens to be
Right.
Oh, I checked them when this queen had just kicked it in the ass, and she was ramped up to like 2,500 a day.
Right.
And all these extra mites that would have been phoretic, that should have shown up on my check, snuck under cappings like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And so now I'm waiting for all these bees to emerge, and then all of a sudden I have a bunch of sick bees, like a higher population because she was being so productive. And it's so, it's weird because it's hard for people to make sense out of it because they're like, oh, they're really strong. Look at all this brood. It's great. But the mites are saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at all this brood. It's great. Like, this is where we want to be. This is the place to be. So, we do want to be careful.
Oh, do you want to move, before we start closing stuff, do you want to move any of the frames down or over?
Well, I think we moved.
Did we? We did it?
moved
Okay.
the one.
And we still have this one strip.
Let's see. Yeah, we want to put that one probably here because I think these two are brood and then that one's brood and that'll kind of cover that.
Okay.
So let me get this board down.
Okay.
Yeah, we're kind of we're moving down 3. But, oops, I'm sorry. Guys.
Sometimes the propolis be doing that.
It's not actually that, except on those, on the rail here, it's not super bad.
Yeah, there we go.
Alright, girls. Sorry about the Oops.
Stupid. I know. And we're going to find a lot probably. When we move this, I'm going to do a little bit of a shaky shake. Like, knock them into the oil trays.
Oh, good idea.
That's what I'm going to do. Because I'm sure they're hiding.
I'm not trying to scare you. What I'm trying to do, let's say
we'll try it. I just get nervous about doing Formic in the fall
let's
because
say you've done a great job.
Okay.
With your treatments.
Okay.
And let's say that means you've got 25% of your bees in here that have a high viral load. That probably is okay, but like we were talking about earlier in the week, 30% is kind of you're kind of at that point where if you go above 30%, they might not make it.
Yeah.
Because there's just not enough healthy bees. Because now you're talking about 35 and 65, and it's like, can the 65 fix all that?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot to do. Like, we're doing winter brood, right? And if 35% of the bees, nurse bees, aren't feeding, or they're feeding in a weird way, it's kind of like the other bees might be depending on them, assuming that they can do it, but they're not doing it right. But they don't really know because everybody's kind of doing their job.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things about the superorganism, I think, one of the flaws, because the teaching, or how we think it works, remember the stuff on how honeybees learn, they learn by watching.
Right.
Not by somebody managing them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no boss that's saying, what are you doing over there? You got to feed 300 times. Like, you're only doing 200. Like, pick it up. Like, pick up the pace. Like, get going. There's nobody in there, cheering and motivating. Like, there's none of that. It's just, here's an individual bee. Like, we just saw one pop out.
Mm-hmm.
And she pops out, and she's like, holy crap. Like, I thought I was the only one.
Yeah.
And then she's looking around, and she sees some other young bee, eating. And she's like, oh, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
And then she goes and eats, right? Because she's mimicking, she's watching, and then she's
or
mimicking.
even like you said when you were giving that class, they get fed as larvae.
Mm-hmm.
So how much of that do they take in when they're feeding?
Some of that. That would be even more interesting. But the point is that independent calculations and things like that based on the health quotient I don't know how much of that. I think there's some of that built in.
Before we close this up, do you want to do a treatment on it?
So I think you felt pretty confident that you can do Formic or Apiary, right?
I have Formic. I have this Formic on me.
Right. But
and I think this is going to be more than we're going to need for that one hive.
Well, that's 2 doses, so you should have 4 sachets. Yeah, 4 doses. So here's my thought on that. I mean, this is just my personal thought.
Mm-hmm.
I love Formic, but I really reserve it for those cases where I feel like
you got to knock it down hard.
Yeah, these bees are in trouble.
Okay. And you would say that about them because we have questionable about trachea.
Yeah, it's enough that I feel like with the cooler temperatures, it's probably worth the risk.
Okay.
Whereas here, I'm seeing mostly healthy bees.
Okay.
Like I said, maybe it's 75% are healthy. That's okay.
Okay.
But we don't want it to go down. Like we don't want it 70 and then 69 and 65 and then it's like now it's October. What are you going to do? It's not laying anymore.
Yeah.
You can't make any more healthy bees, so you're stuck with what you got, right?
Right.
So that ratio gets carved in stone at some point, and then it's like they can't brood their way out. They're not making brood, right? She can start in January. Is she going to brood her way out making this much brood?
Yeah.
Because there's just not enough.
Right.
The numbers aren't there, right?
Right.
So right now is when she's going to do this rally, and she's going to brood all these winter bees out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what you want as a beekeeper is you want her to have the healthiest environment. You want all those nurse bees, or the highest percentage of those nurse bees to be healthy, like 80% plus. I suspect, based on the arc-wing and the K-wing and stuff that we saw, and a little bit of the spotty brood, that I think there are some viral loads in here that are unhealthy.
Okay.
And I feel like Apiguard would be a really good
better bet
option.
Okay.
Because it's way easier. Like, I've never had any queen issues. I've never even seen them shut down brood production.
Well,
people have told me that, but I think that's because they're overdosing.
Yeah.
But if you dose it correctly, I don't think that would be an issue.
Well, then that's my next question is then, should I be doing that with that one then? If Apiguard also...
You could. I wish I had taken my Apiguard out.
Yeah, because that's the only thing I have. Yeah, the only thing I have is the Formic.
I had it yesterday because I brought it just in case Stephanie had it around. I was like, is this expired? And she's like, oh, I think it was. And it was good until March.
Okay.
She was like, oh, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But I have mine's good till May next year.
Yeah.
She's like, no.
Just use it. She bought it. Yeah, might as well.
It looks fine. It's not separated. It smells terrible. Yeah, that's fine. And I was like, okay. So we used it.
Does it smell like thymol?
Like the bees were like, yeah, well,
it
does.
So very strong. Yeah, okay.
So the question is, you had said something about some sort of a shim or something where we
I
could
do.
use these up.
Yeah.
So as long as that's true, because you need, when you do Apiguard, like I could see, we could probably get the Formic in here without changing.
Well, that's what I was hoping for that one.
Yes. Because you're not even supposed to use a shim. You're just supposed to the bee space between the boxes.
Okay.
You got that here. But when you use Apiguard,
they have to get in.
Yeah, they have to get to it. So you want to make sure, like, that they have access. So you do like a 3/4 inch shim.
Okay.
On where you put it. So here, yeah, if we could shim this, then that would be a piece of cake.
But you said you don't have it with you.
But you have treatment. I don't think you need to treat it today.
Okay.
But it's something we can maybe start doing next week.
Okay.
I don't think I actually have anybody to host next week, so it's possible. I know you don't really want to host in there, but if the weather's really nice.
Yeah, I don't mind doing it outside. Just the inside of my house is a disaster.
Weather, like I said, I think it's going to be like if it was like this. I mean, can you imagine? Like we just sit in the shade.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a possibility.
Do we still have? Nope, they ran. Dang. They're not here anymore.
No, there's one there.
Oh, there's
one more. You definitely have some more.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one round in the corner. There's one on this side now, up here. Oh my God.
Oh, there they are. Should I still bang them? Did they fall in?
Smush it. I didn't smush it, so you don't have to pump them through it. Yeah. Get
them in. Do the best to get them in. Look at this.
I
This must have
know.
got they propolized this
I
area.
guess it's from that the lamination started.
Hmm.
You can put that to the outside if you want.
It's
Maybe
okay.
we'll
I'll
just scoop that up.
yeah.
Too. I like these boards. They're really nice.
Yeah. It ended up working out. Go on, lady.
So again, I'm not trying to scare you. What I'm trying to do is get you to have a really good, sustainable program that you feel good about.
Yeah.
And you may still use the Varaxane. I don't have anything against it. I think its
It's
best
okay.
use is when it's cold and when it's hot. Because
Okay.
You can use it. You can't use it when they're in clusters, really. But
My plan was
you
to
can
use
use it early
Formic
and
in
late.
the spring. That was the original plan.
Yeah.
Because usually I do a dribble in the fall, like as I'm closing them up.
Yeah, that's
I do a
really good
dribble.
one. I think you still want to stick with that.
Okay.
But I think adding a fumigant because of the tracheomite thing.
You don't worry about too much for the queen. Like, I know you have like a numbers.
Yeah.
How many?
So the Apiguard, so for Formic, I give that a 1.
Here, flip it.
Assuming that the queen can handle 4.
Okay.
So if you do Formic twice a year, guess what?
Yeah.
She's pretty much done.
So maybe
I
Apiguard.
think the Apiguard is like a half.
Okay.
Like I would give it a half if you dose it correctly. So I feel like even if you're doing, and I don't know anybody that does it twice a year. I do it this time of the year because I feel like, again, unless I have a colony that's like, oh my god, like this is terrible, like then I'm just gonna put full Formic on.
Yeah.
And I don't care if I hurt the queen because she's gonna get requeened. I'm gonna pinch her anyway. So
Yeah.
if they take her out, it's like it's frustrating because you're looking for her and you're
Right.
like, if I don't see eggs, and I'm like,
There's a problem
could be because
anyways.
of the Formic, but it could be because they took her out already. So I just kind of like have to look really careful. But it's still like I'm just trying to keep it from being a mite bomb. And,
Right.
And maybe half the time the colony will live because if they have a ton of mites, it's like, wow, that's just like you just got to kill them all. But the viral load's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Because Formic doesn't do anything for that. So. But the tracheomite thing is real, and that's one of the reasons we're doing Formic over here is because we suspect that could be an issue.
Okay.
Well, if you have tracheomites over here,
What are the chances?
well, it's a genetic thing. Like for years we said, oh, we bred our way out. Like the queens now,
Yeah,
they're not susceptible.
I don't see any other hives having the sick bees
And that may be
outside in
true.
the evening.
Like there may be trachea trying to get in all these, but because of genetics, they're just, dealing with it. Kind of like with the Varroa, but somehow that was the going thing. Like the whole time I was keeping bees up until a year ago, everybody's like, oh no, we don't have tracheomites anymore because we
bred them out.
And it's like, exactly how did we do that? Like nobody actually planned on doing it.
Yeah.
Like they've been doing like with
For
Varroa.
Varroa.
I think it was just a lot of colonies died, and the ones that didn't die
Had a
still
resistance.
had tracheomite, but they didn't have overwhelming numbers.
Right.
So they
Well, isn't
figured-
it true that they all kind of have a low level of tracheomites?
I don't know that we thought that for a lot of years.
Oh, I thought that was.
'Cause I know that even the samples that they were taking from California, I was talking to Jay Evans about that in February, and they had already run a couple hundred of those samples, and they said it was less than 10% had tracheomites.
Okay.
And they said the levels were low.
Low.
So-
okay. Right.
They were only finding a small percentage. So I think it's still, because they don't get spread the same way. I mean, they can get spread with drifting or if you're moving stuff. Like
Right.
if they have it and you move a frame over here with bees and brood, well,
Right.
guess what?
They have it now.
They
Right.
do. Now, whether they'll resist it or not, I don't know. It's just we don't know.
Yeah.
And so we do things as beekeepers to like move that stuff around really quickly. But I think planning on a fumigant in the summer is always a good plan.
Okay.
And if you really, really like the way Formic works, that could be your plan A. But I would have the Apiguard as plan B because that's the other fumigant, and it's much
Gentler.
It's less temperature sensitive.
Okay.
So you could feel like, I like how this yard
The
gets shady.
The only thing I worry about, so like, I have to also time it right as well because as you mentioned, like with Margie, like the thymol in Apiguard can like really throw off the taste of stuff if it gets on anything. And I don't want to do that with Formic either, right?
Well, Formic is legal when
to have your supers on. I know, but I still would rather not.
Most people are the same way.
Right.
They're just like,
So I have
pull
to
my supers first.
Right.
And that's why people wait until.
That's what I kind of did even with the
July.
strips. The strips, they say you're allowed to have
yeah.
your supers on too.
Yeah.
And I took the honey that I wanted to. I was waiting till I could take the honey that I wanted from the hives before I put the strips in.
No,
Because the honey that they have now, that I'm gonna let them have it. That's
well, and it's got some of the spotted lantern, and that's the other thing. That's the other game changer.
And I don't want that. I know you're collecting it, but
July, spotted lantern flies coming in, and it's like, even if I didn't want to taint, didn't want to use Formic because I had honey on, well, now they're going to taint it anyway with the spotted lantern fly stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, I might as well go ahead and put my treatments, pull my honey.
True, yeah.
In the beginning of July before they start putting that in.
Right.
And then go ahead and get my treatments on so it gives you just a whole nother reason to just, like, I'm just going to wait to do my treatment until I pull my honey.
Yes.
Because I'm not going to try to pull honey in August because it'll have a bunch of crap in it.
Right.
I don't want that. So.
And in spring, what I usually do when the flow really starts, I pull these frames out because usually it's feed, it's sugar water or something I gave them, and I don't want that mixing with the honey that I want to pull. So I pull them out, I freeze them, I give them new frames, they build it out, they put honey in it, and then when I pull those out in July, I give them back those frames that I took out in the springtime.
Yeah, I do the same.
Okay.
Yeah, I probably have 100 honey frames in my freezer right now. Well,
that are
in between my freezer and my big
Yeah.
because I don't have that much room. But yeah, they're all going to go on. The thing is, the last couple of years, that's why I have 100. Like I usually would have about 30 or 40 of them. But last year I didn't have put any of them because they were all just full, like with the honeydew. And I was just like I was going in, I had my frame feeders, and I'm trying to find a frame to pull out to put my frame feeders in. And half of them I couldn't even find like a funky frame or an empty frame because they filled everything up. And I was like,
this is different.
I guess I'm not putting frame feeders in.
Yeah.
So I had all this whole box of frame feeders I didn't put in. And then a few weeks later, like I've written weights on, estimate on like 55 pounds, 60 pounds, 65, on the lid. And I go in, I don't know, maybe closer to a month later, so probably sometime in October, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to put food on.
But they were
I
heavier.
actually had frames of honey with me too, because I was like, well, I'll put some of that on too. They were heavier.
They're
I was
heavier.
like, holy crap. I was like, what are these girls doing? And I was just like, okay. Like, I think I used like 25 pounds of sugar last fall. I was like,
spotted lanternfly is coming in clutch. Yeah. I feel like I joined beekeeping at a good time.
I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah, me too, honestly. Yeah. Me too. Should go ahead and do that one?
Yeah, let's go over.
All right.